So the concept of samurais, kung fu, ninjas, shinobis, it was all introduced to me and my friends as kids growing up in Karachi, which is so weird. Why would a Karachi kid know about shinobis? There is no connect. There is a complete disconnect. Subcontinent, Pakistan, Karachi, shinobis, huge question mark. But that's the influence that Sega had on us and my friends growing up.
जो पिक्सेलेटेड ग्राफिक्स होती थी उनको देख के मैं ना री इमेजिन करता था और अपनी कोशिश ये होती थी कि मैं उनको डिटेल में स्केच करूं। तो इससे क्या हुआ कि बहुत छोटी एज में ना मेरी इमेजिनेशन काफ़ी स्ट्रांग हो गई थी। उस वक्त गेम्स में ना पासवर्ड्स होते थे और वो मैनुअल्स में होते थे गेम्स की। तो मैं वो करता था कि मैं उनसे जाके वो ख़रीदता था और उसको अपने आर्ट वर्क के साथ दूसरे दोस्तों को बेचता था। सही है, वो बहुत छोटी एज में, मतलब मैं उस वक्त हार्डली मैं ख्याल में थर्ड क्लास में हूँ मैं।
Japanese culture had a huge influence on my life, and generally my cousins, my friends, because we were playing the same games, we were playing it on the same Japanese hardware. We were watching animations which were primarily inspired by Japan, right? Even if we weren't into anime as kids, we were watching stuff that was produced as an inspiration, of anime. So it had a huge influence on us as far as what we were trained to like and dislike.
In the days of the late 80s and the 90s, the NTM and STN used to have all these cartoons running around. My mother, or at least my uncle, attributes to like how my English improved over the years was generally because of how I was always reading English in my comics. My Urdu, I got like, I'm not afraid to wear, but I got C's in my O levels. Why is your son's Urdu so bekar? Like, why is he bad? Why is he getting C's in Urdu in O levels? But yeah, I think it was just, I attribute that that Urdu has never managed to package content the way which interests me, the way English had, and that was from comics.
Since I was 17, 18, I had the guitar with me, as guys do. We all play guitar to a certain extent. It's just one of those things that people do, right? So I took one step ahead and I learned some production software, audio production software and music production software as a hobby. During my day job, I saw a tweet which was asking for music for their small indie game, and I responded to that tweet with my own SoundCloud, and as things turned out, I got the job. So I made some music for them, they liked it, and they sent me some money through a local agency, and that was my cue to the fact that I can leave the job. That was my cue to understanding that you can get work online and you can be paid for your music.
मेरा बड़ा भाई PhD कर रहा है, मेरी बड़ी बहन जो है वो मास्टर्स है फिज़िक्स में, और मेरा छोटा भाई जो है BMW में काम कर रहा है, और मतलब मैं अकेला था जो कि कह रहा था कि मुझे आर्ट करना है। ठीक है, तो स्टडीज़ के बीच में ही मुझे एक जगह जॉब मिल गई और वहाँ पे मैंने एज ए ग्राफिक डिज़ाइनर काम शुरू किया, और वो बिल्कुल भी वो काम नहीं था जो मैं करना चाहता हूँ ना। उसके बाद फिर मेरे उनसे कुछ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स हुए, मैं वहाँ से निकला और फिर मैंने लूसिड स्टूडियोज़ में नादिर के साथ मैंने पार्टनरशिप की, कॉन्सेप्ट आर्ट स्टूडियो शुरू किया। उसके बाद मैंने 5 साल वो लूसिड कॉन्सेप्ट चलाया, पता चला कि उसके भी कुछ और ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हैं। तो फिर मैं कहा यार अब मैं ख़ुद से स्टार्ट लेता हूँ। तो ये बिल्कुल फ्रेश स्टार्ट है निंजा स्ट्रोक्स। यही कहूँगा कि अगर जैसे आप ना अकेले कुछ करने की कोशिश ना करें, अपने जैसे लोगों को तलाश करें और उनके साथ जो है ना, अगर आपको लगता है कि आपका इस तरह का ट्रस्ट लेवल है, तो आप जो है ना अर्ली स्टेजेस पे ही एक छोटा सा कोई ऑफिस लेके एक छोटी सी कोई स्टार्टअप से शुरू करें, और आप छोटे छोटे ऑफिसेस बना के उसको ही आप अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी कॉलेज बना लें। आप अगर किसी स्कूल में भी साथ में पढ़ रहे हैं, तो जो नए स्टूडेंट्स आ रहे हैं उनको आप जो है ना यूनिवर्सिटी के अलावा आप अपने पास बुला के उनको ट्रेन कर सकते हैं। इससे आपके अपने स्किल्स भी इम्प्रूव होते हैं।
मार्केट फ्रीलांसर्स की तो बहुत अच्छी है. मतलब फ्रीलांसर्स का तो ये है कि see if you're a full-time freelancer, whatever you're doing, if you're doing video production, if you're doing VFX, After Effects and stuff, if you're doing 3D modeling, there's like 8 to 9 there's like 10 websites that I follow on a daily basis, right? And they all offer freelance opportunities. So they don't care about what the person who is pitching is from, what city they're from. All they care about is your portfolio. So if you have a nice website showing your work, and then when they respond to you, you do a sample for them, you will definitely get work sitting in Karachi from lots of websites. It's just a hustle and bustle game. It's just a pitching game, basically.
There's not enough stories talking about South Asia, and that doesn't mean Pakistan. It also means India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. Video games, you probably have no big video game which has a Desi character as the main hero, except for I remember Far Cry 4, which had a character named Rahul set in Nepal. And those are few and far between because production studios don't invest in sending their writers to these locations to learn more. But if you can imagine a world where Marvel superheroes drop into Delhi and they have the whole thing instead of New York, have it in Delhi or like Bombay or in Karachi, right? I think that's where we have an opportunity through these genres, like within pop culture, which are easier and less costly to make. We're not saying make a AAA video game or like a very expensive video game. We're saying like, hey, smaller comics, smaller visual novel stuff, which is easier to make, are great opportunities to make stories, our stories known to the world. There are independent, smaller folks who are making such things. So if you can see Humsafar on Netflix, you can definitely see other things as well.
Thank you for watching this video, and for more information about pop culture, stay tuned with Metal Senan.